You are standing at the edge of a forest 30,000 years ago. Across the clearing, there is another human being you have never seen before. You don't know their name. You don't know where they came from. You have no shared language, no common friends, no mutual followers, no profile to check. And yet, within the next few minutes, one of two things will happen. Either you will become allies, or one of you will not walk away. This is the social reality that shaped every instinct you have about other people. And understanding how ancient humans navigated it explains something about you that no one has ever properly told you. Stay with me. Here is what most people assume about ancient human social life. Simple, tribal, everyone knows everyone. Small group, same faces, no strangers. Wrong. Archaeological and anthropological evidence consistently shows that ancient humans were not isolated in small sealed groups. They traded, they migrated, they formed alliances with neighboring groups. They encountered strangers regularly. They had to, because the groups that refused contact with outsiders died. Inbreeding, resource scarcity, no new knowledge, no new genetic diversity. The groups that survived were the ones that figured out how to turn strangers into allies. And they did this without a single word of shared language. Here is what actually happened at that forest edge 30,000 years ago. Before either humans said anything, before any gesture, before any sound, something invisible happened. Threat assessment. Your brain performs an automatic, unconscious, extraordinarily fast scan of every person you encounter. Before conscious thought forms, before you decide how to feel about someone, it is scanning for signals that evolution identified as indicators of danger or safety over millions of years. Posture, movement, eye contact, facial symmetry, emotional expression, micro-expressions that last less than a fifth of a second. Your brain is reading another human being the way a weather system reads atmospheric pressure, constantly, automatically, without your permission, and it is making decisions about that person before you are even aware you are looking at them. This system is so fast and so ancient that modern researchers have identified it as running in brain structures that predate the human species by tens of millions of years. You did not develop this ability. You inherited it from something that was reading strangers long before it became human. But threat assessment was only the first layer, because ancient humans also had to solve a problem that no other species had ever solved at the same scale. How do you signal to a complete stranger that you are safe? Not just not dangerous, safe, worth trusting, worth investing in, worth bringing inside the group. And they solved it with something so obvious, we almost never think of it. The smile. The human smile is not a simple expression. It is a neurologically complex, socially sophisticated, evolutionarily ancient signal that carries an enormous amount of information in a fraction of a second. A genuine smile, what researchers call a Duchenne smile, involves not just the muscles around the mouth, but the muscles around the eyes. The corners of the eyes crinkle, the cheeks lift slightly. The entire upper face participates. This is important because the muscles around the eyes are extremely difficult to control voluntarily, almost impossible to fake convincingly, which means a genuine smile is a signal that cannot be easily counterfeited. Ancient humans who encountered strangers and showed genuine positive emotion were communicating something that the stranger's brain could verify almost instantly. This person is not afraid of me. This person does not see me as a threat. This person's nervous system is calm in my presence. And here is the crucial part. Calm nervous systems are contagious. When you observe another person's facial expression of safety and calm, your own nervous system begins to mirror it. Your heart rate slows slightly. Your cortisol drops. Your threat assessment system dials down. This is not a metaphor. This is a documented neurological phenomenon called social referencing. Your nervous system is constantly reading the nervous systems of people around you and partially synchronizing with them. Ancient humans standing at the edge of that clearing were not just looking at each other. They were sending and receiving real-time data about their internal states and using that data to make survival decisions. But smiling and sending calm signals was still not enough to actually build connection, because connection requires something more. It requires synchronized experience. Here is what ancient humans did when they wanted to build trust with a stranger. They ate together. Sharing food is one of the most ancient trust-building behaviors in the human species. It is so deeply coded into human social instinct that it appears in virtually every human culture that has ever been documented. When you share food with someone, you are communicating something at a level beneath language. I am giving you something I need to survive. I trust you enough to reduce my own resources for you. I am not afraid of you. And the person receiving food receives the same message through a completely different channel. This person chose to give me something precious. My safety assessment of them just changed. Ancient humans also used synchronized movement to build connection, dancing, drumming, walking together in the same rhythm, working side by side on the same task. Modern research on synchronized movement has found something remarkable. When two people move in synchrony, even strangers, they experience measurable increases in feelings of social connection, trust, and cooperation. The bodies are doing something the words haven't said yet. We are the same. We move together. We are not threats to each other. Ancient humans figured this out without any of the science. They just noticed that moving together felt different from not moving together, and they built it into every ceremony, every ritual, every collective activity they performed. But perhaps the most powerful ancient social tool of all was something even simpler: touch. Not romantic touch, not aggressive touch, the specific kind of touch that primates use to build and maintain social bonds. Grooming. Our closest primate relatives spend enormous amounts of time physically grooming each other, picking through each other's fur, touching each other's skin, not primarily for hygiene, for social bonding. Robin Dunbar, the evolutionary psychologist who identified what is now called Dunbar's number, proposed that human language itself may have evolved as a form of social grooming. Because language allows you to groom multiple people simultaneously, you can tell a story to a group of 20 people and create social bonds with all of them at once. You cannot physically groom 20 people at once. Gossip, stories, jokes, laughter shared with others. These were not frivolous social activities. They were the primary mechanism by which ancient humans maintained the social bonds that kept the group together. That kept individuals safe. That determined who you could call on when you were injured, hungry, or threatened. And now, here is the piece that connects everything to you. Every single one of these ancient social tools is still running in your nervous system right now. When you meet someone new and you immediately feel comfortable, before they have said anything particularly impressive, your threat assessment system has already run its scan and returned a positive result. When you feel drawn to someone who laughs easily, your nervous system is reading their calm and beginning to synchronize with it. When you feel bonded to someone after sharing a meal, you are experiencing the same ancient trust signal that worked at the edge of a forest 30,000 years ago. When you feel closer to people you have danced with, exercised with, worked alongside, your synchronized movement circuits have done something your words never said. When you find yourself trusting someone who tells good stories and makes people laugh, you are responding to the most sophisticated social bonding tool the human species ever developed. None of this is accidental. None of this is arbitrary. All of it evolved because the humans who did these things survived, and the ones who didn't. You are the descendant of the ones who figured out how to turn strangers into allies. Before phones, before social media, before language itself, with a smile, a shared meal, a synchronized movement, a story told around a fire that made everyone in the circle feel like they were part of the same thing. If you want to know, you know what to do.